Travel back in time with a trip inside the Iowa's News Now vault.
It may be the most controversial call in Big Ten basketball history. A foul with no time left on the clock gives Purdue a free throw and costs Iowa the conference championship.
I believe we're down now to 9 seconds on the clock.
More than 3 years later, the man who made the call admits to a Johnson County jury that he made a mistake. Reviewing a videotape of the game, Big Ten referee Jim Bain says he was right in calling a foul, but charged the wrong player.
That was when I made my error, because I got the numbers of the two players mixed up.
The call incensed Iowa fans. Bain says he received more than 7,000 threatening letters and telephone calls. The Big Ten referee is in court because he says John and Karen Gillespie of Iowa City tried to cash in on that anger. Following the controversial game, the Gillespies designed and sold this T-shirt showing Bain's head in a noose. Bain maintains that the T-shirt made a violent situation worse. He told jurors the shirt has only one message.
The message of the T-shirt, as I understand it, is hang Jim Bain. I don't know what else anyone could get out of it.
Bain says the T-shirt led to constant harassment from fans. Harassment, he says, to this day causes him to fear for his life and the safety of his family. Bain told jurors that as recently as this past weekend, he refereed a game where fans shouted threats related to the T-shirt.
They vary anywhere from Bain, they were right in Iowa, they should have hung you, or hang him, Iowa was right, or just hang him.
Bain says the outcome of the trial will determine the future of his career as a referee and to some extent the future of college basketball. Testimony continues tomorrow. Brian Greif, 2 Action News, Iowa City.
I really don't believe in the history of basketball I have seen anything that compares to this.
Jim Bain told a Johnson County jury that fans have a right to criticize a referee, but not in a manner that promotes violence or physical harm. Bain testified that in his opinion, this T-shirt featuring a picture of his head in a noose goes beyond criticism. He called it a violent threat.
It's a promotion of doing something physical to hurt Jim Bain, and hanging is hurt.
Bain wants a cash settlement from the makers of the shirt. John and Karen Gillespie of Iowa City designed and sold the shirt after Bain made a controversial call during this 1982 basketball game between the University of Iowa and Purdue University. Iowa lost the game and the Big Ten championship. Bain says the T-shirt heightened fan threats and violence after the controversial game and cost him a job as supervisor of Big Ten referees. The Gillespies maintain that Bain is a public figure and is subject to public scrutiny. During cross-examination, defense attorney Jay Honahan suggested that the T-shirt was made, quote, tongue-in-cheek and not as a threat.
Do you think it would be easier and more direct to say, hang Jim Bain?
I would imagine so, yes, sir.
Does this T-shirt say, hang Jim Bain?
Not in words.
Late this afternoon, John Gillespie took the stand in his own defense. Gillespie testified that the shirt was not meant to harm Bain.
I can't see how anybody would look at that rope and think at first it's long enough to hang anybody, and second that it would, and it wasn't meant that way, and I'm sorry that it was taken that way by him.
Gillespie will continue his testimony tomorrow. Brian Greif, 2 Action News, Iowa City.
Respond to questions. Their recollection of
Bain's attorney summarized 4 days of testimony by claiming that John Gillespie designed and sold this T-shirt out of greed and anger. Attorney David Dutton says the effect was like pouring gasoline on an open fire.
It could be said to be very reckless. It could have caused great injury. We're fortunate that it didn't.
Gillespie sold the T-shirts after Bain made a controversial last-second foul call that some say cost Iowa the 1982 Big Ten basketball championship. Gillespie maintains that the T-shirt symbolizes Bain choking on the call, but Dutton told jurors it has a different meaning.
This is beyond criticism. This is over the line. This is saying that this person should be hated.
Gillespie's attorney told jurors that the case boils down to freedom of speech, that Bain is a public figure and is subject to criticism. In his closing arguments, Jay Honahan raised questions about Bain's reasons for filing the lawsuit.
I think he wants vindication in this case. I think he wants this jury to say, Jim Bain
is a nice fella, a good referee, and he only made a human mistake.
The jury has returned form of verdict number 1. We, the jury, find in favor of the plaintiff, James C. Bain.
The 5-woman, 3-man jury awarded Big Ten referee Jim Bain more than $12,000 in damages. The decision was returned after more than 11 hours of deliberation.
Initially, jurors were standing for the defendants, and there were some standing for the plaintiff. And this was a very tough compromise to come up with, but we decided this jury was going to settle it, and we were not going to have a hung jury this time.
John and Karen Gillespie manufactured and sold this T-shirt showing Bain with a rope around his neck after the referee made a controversial last-second foul call against the Iowa basketball team in 1982. Jurors agreed with Bain's claim that the T-shirt was an invasion of privacy and damaged the referee's reputation, but disagreed that the Gillespies manufactured the shirt to purposely harm Bain.
Because I think what we've done is vindicate Iowa. I know we vindicated Jim Bain. And I think that's going to please Jim Bain.
Bain could not be reached for comment, but his attorney, David Dutton, told us by telephone that the referee is, quote, very satisfied with the decision. The Gillespies were also unavailable for comment. Their attorney labeled the decision a disappointment.
It seemed to me that the jury was very conscientious and worked very hard and did what they thought was right, and that's part of the system. And
Honahan says at this point he does not know if an appeal will be filed. Brian Greif, 2 Action News, Iowa City.